Hello from Portland. I'm really trying to get back in the habit of doing videos every day. And first I have a request from Carter. Carter ran in his first big track meet today, and he took third place in the boys age 9 to 10 relay, and he wanted me to show his ribbons. The other thing I want to talk about today is I've been reading a lot, obviously, about this whole IRS scandal where the Cincinnati office of the IRS was targeting Tea Party groups and delaying their applications to be approved as nonprofits. The first thing I want to say about it is it's really bad. I don't think it serves any purpose to try to minimize how bad it is for a government agency to be targeting particular political beliefs. If you're a government agency that's in charge of conferring any kind of benefit and you're targeting conservatives or socialists or environmentalists or libertarians or anything, it's a horrendous abuse of power. And this is something where I got into huge arguments with friends of mine, with good friends of mine, when all the Chick-fil-A controversy was going on, and Chick-fil-A's owner is very anti-marriage equality. So people wanted to boycott it, which was fine with me. But there were also mayors of cities saying they would deny business licenses to Chick-fil-A because they disagreed with them on marriage equality, which is totally wrong. It's completely wrong for any government official, high or petty, to use the power of government to try to police people's opinions. To me, that is the core principle of democracy. That is the core of what it means to live in a free society, is that we all have the privilege of determining our own thoughts and beliefs, and that we should not be coerced into changing or abandoning them by our government. So I think it's a very big deal. It does not seem to have been something orchestrated from the White House. It seems to have been the people at the agency lacking enough sensitivity to their task and not adopting safeguards that would ensure even-handed treatment for all kinds of groups. I also see a lot of my friends saying, well, the real scandal is that the IRS isn't cracking down harder on all these groups that are trying to affect campaigns under the guise of being nonprofit social welfare organizations. And obviously the law is the law, and the law should be applied as equitably and even-handedly and fairly as possible. But I gotta say, I've always thought it was dumb that we have such different tax treatment for nonprofits who are trying to affect campaigns as opposed to nonprofits who are bringing litigation or doing public education or doing other things to try to make the world a better place. Because fundamentally, I think there's a sort of distaste for partisan politics that to me is not philosophically justified. I think the law should just recognize that nonprofits, including churches and social welfare organizations, exist to try to propagate ideas and to try to promote policies and positions. And one of the ways to do that is through backing candidates for public office. And as long as the money is all disclosed and transparent and voters know where the money is coming from and where it's going, I really don't have a problem with tax exemption for those organizations, whether or not they are stopping short of getting involved in partisan politics. Because I think, as we've seen with this scandal, trying to involve the government in making these hair-splitting distinctions between who's doing legitimate social welfare and who's doing nasty partisan politics is inherently arbitrary. It leads to these kinds of abuses. There were all kinds of abuses in the Bush administration as well. Lots of civil rights organizations were targeted and harassed, and it's not good for democracy on either side. It's a mistake for liberals in particular to be so mistrustful of political organization, because that's how people who don't have a lot of wealth and power exert power, is through organizations, is through collective action, through labor unions, through neighborhood organizations, through political parties. That's my rant about the IRS scandal for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.